In Virginia Beach, Virginia, there's a beautiful new addition to the community that's attracting visitors and tourists, and it's driving even more growth in the craft beer industry. Paul Mueller Company first partnered with Green Flash Brewing in 2011 to build them a production brewery in San Diego. With their popular brews and innovative marketing skills, Green Flash quickly needed more production capacity and started thinking about additional locations.
Then, in 2015, they announced plans to build a brewery in Virginia Beach with equipment that's identical to their San Diego facility.
When a brewery adds a facility on the opposite side of the country, the reason is typically distribution costs. Beer is made up of mostly water, and it's heavy to truck it all over the country.
So the challenge here was to duplicate the brewery so the product can stay as consistent as possible so it's on brand. Anytime you're making the same product in multiple facilities, that consistency is absolutely critical. So customers don't know whether their West Coast IPA is made on the West Coast or on the East Coast. They just know that it tastes good and it tastes the way they expect it to.
Green Flash wanted an exact duplication of the brewing equipment Paul Mueller Company had made in 2011. In addition, they wanted Mueller to be in charge of the construction and the control system.
You'd never know looking at this building now, but this location started with open ground. It was a completely empty field, which gives you all kinds of options.
Working in collaboration, Green Flash and Paul Mueller Company were able to design a building that worked exactly the way they wanted it to work. As they collaborated on the layout, Mueller began developing the equipment plans.
So the solution that we used to ensure a consistent product started with due diligence. We took a trip out to San Diego to see the integration, learn what they like, what they don't like, see the things that were critical that we duplicate, as well as the things that they would like to improve. We took our time with scope development and understanding what our customer needed in their new facility. Whenever you're doing these large projects, it feels like a time crunch when you're in the moment. But you'll forget that time crunch in 6 months. What you won't forget is the thing you have to live with forever that maybe isn't exactly what you want. We've learned the places it's okay to change, and the places where it needs to stay the same. We successfully executed a duplicate brewery and stayed true to brand.
The brew house was built in Paul Mueller Company's facility headquarters in Springfield, Missouri. Everything was piped up, connected, tested, and all electrical controls run. Then the equipment was taken apart with as few disconnects as possible. The tanks were pulled off the skid and shipped in as big of chunks as possible.
Then we go out and set the system back up. We've had some customers who try and do that themselves, and it's so much better if we can pull our field operations team in just to pull the whole thing back together. It's a seamless transition from the shop build to installation in the facility.
Mueller doesn't stop there. They commission the equipment, go through startup, test it to make sure everything is ready to go, ensure the controls program is working the way it's supposed to, and answer any questions the brewer might have. Then, in collaboration with the brewers, they do a water brew and their first beer brew.
They loved it, and they loved the team that we had there. Walking into that brewery a year later was like walking into Cheers, you know, hey Norm. So I think one of the biggest things that we got out of this project was a lasting relationship with the brewers. You know, it's an ongoing partnership. Green Flash got a beautiful brewery that made them a go-to destination in the Virginia Beach community, and it allows them to keep their beers consistent and repeatable and fresh for their fans to drink all over the country.
For help on your next brewery project, contact Paul Mueller Company. Cheers!